All right, folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we're having some more fun with the high-speed camera testing out a bunch of broadheads, and this testing has been pretty eye-opening for us. This test here is a test that a lot of people base their broadhead purchasing decisions off of, and I think that's a mistake. And this is the jug bleed out test. In no way, shape, or form is there anything in a whitetail or any animal that you're gonna shoot that acts like a plastic jug of water. Depending on the actual broadhead design, these broadheads may perform better through plastic than they would on a whitetail. When you shoot this plastic jug, the plastic is going to want to fold in on itself. It's not blowing a hole or opening the wound channel, it's closing in on itself. So when you shoot through the plastic closes. And we have a 10,000 frame per second camera to show us exactly what happens, and it's not what's gonna happen when you shoot these through a whitetail. But if it's a metric that you like to use, we're gonna shoot a Ramcat Diamondback, a Muzzy Trokar, a Tooth of the Arrow 4-blade, a Iron Will 100 vented, a G5 Montec, and a K2 fixed from Afflictor broadhead. So these are all fixed blade broadheads, all 100 grains. Just to note, we are going to take the screw, the cap, off the top of the jugs for time's sake. They'll bleed out quicker when the jug's off as opposed to it being on. With that being said, let's shoot them. Throughout the broadhead testing, the Tooth of the Arrow broadhead has performed the best in penetration and in accuracy. So it being an inch cutting diameter, we'll see what kind of hole it puts in plastic. Like I said, I'm not putting a whole bunch of weight in this, but I guess we'll see what kind of damage it does. We are about to blow some stuff up with these broadheads too and see what kind of torture they can take. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel to find out. And let us know in the comments below what broadhead you're shooting and which broadhead that you think is going to perform the best out of all of these. So the next one we're going to shoot here is going to be the Muzzy Trokar. This is a 3-blade head. This broadhead was not featured in the accuracy test, but it was featured in the penetration test. We'll shoot this Muzzy Trokar through the bleed out test and see what it does here. All right, so this will be the Ramcat Diamondback, 20 yards, jug test. This is going to be the G5 Montec bleed out jug test, 20 yards. All right, so this is the ever popular Iron Will 100 vented option. I don't know if maybe guys are shooting the non-vented option to get a lot more performance out of it, but we're gonna shoot it through this jug at 20 yards. I hit that a little higher. Seriously. Yes. Last broadhead in the test here, and then we'll go look at the holes these things put in that jug. But this is the K2 fixed from Afflictor, 100 grain head, 4 blade, 2 blade with like bigger bleeders, so 1 1/8 cut, inch bleeders. I hit that one kind of high. All right.
2 minutes on the dot.
Down at the results here. So shot 6 broadheads through water jugs to see how fast they bleed out. And I'll show you why this test isn't really a very good description of what's going on. So here we have the tooth of the arrow head, 4 blade, 1 inch cut, and it put a pretty good hole in it, but you can see how the plastic just folds in on itself here. So this was a pretty accurate shot distance-wise, and it took 1 minute and 32 seconds to bleed out. Next, we have the Muzzy Trokar. This is a 3 blade head, and I hit this one on the right side of the jug, same height as the tooth of the arrow. And we pull this plastic away here. You can see the carnage, but still the plastic just folds in. It doesn't break away. It doesn't expand. It folds in on itself and just doesn't allow for an accurate description. But if this is the type of test you like to see, the Muzzy Trokar took 1 minute and 15 seconds. That was the second fastest bleed out. Here we have the Ramcat Diamondback. Hit it in the same spot as I hit the Trokar, right here. And you can see on this one, that it actually chipped away some of the plastic, and because of that, bled out the quickest, 1 minute and 13 seconds from the Diamondback, and that's a 3 blade as well with a swooped head. Next we had the G5 Montec. This one took 1 minute and 46 seconds. Pretty stout head there, and you would think that would just blow through some plastic. Well, as you can see here, pretty good hole in there, but it took longer to bleed out. Then we had the Iron Will, guys. The Iron Will, the popular Iron Will vented head. I hit this one higher up on the jug here, and I mean, it put a pretty decent hole in there, but all the plastic is folded in, and this took the slowest bleed out. Guys, we're not being biased here. We love Iron Will. Like, these heads are awesome. American made steel, lifetime warranty, what's not to like? 2 minutes and 15 seconds on the bleed out. So are you not gonna buy an Iron Will head because it took the longest to bleed out? Probably not. They perform well. Lastly, Afflictor K2 fixed. Not much behind the Iron Will, and again, I hit it a little bit higher on the jug. I'll pull this out here, right here. I hit that higher on the jug, and I mean, a coring hole, but everything's folded in on itself and it just closes up. Took 2 minutes to bleed out. I have killed a lot of deer with the Afflictor K2 fixed, and they bleed like mothers. So there you have it, guys. Pretty epic stuff. But if you're basing your broadhead purchasing decisions off this test, just reconsider what's actually going on there.